So, you're interested in Chinese culture. That's awesome. But here's the thing. Some of the most important rules, well, they're not written down anywhere. So today, we're going to give you a kind of survival guide to help you navigate these hidden social codes. And this is where it gets really interesting, because as the source puts it, the unwritten ones are the most dangerous because nobody tells you about them until you break them. Yeah, pretty intense, right? You only find out you've messed up after you've already made the mistake. That's what we're here to help you avoid. So think of this as your personal cheat sheet. We're going to walk you through some of the most common situations where things can get a little tricky. A formal dinner, visiting someone's home, and even just figuring out how to take a compliment. All right, first up, and this is a big one, mastering the dinner table. This is probably the #1 place where an innocent mistake can cause a little bit of chaos. Okay, picture this. You're at a fantastic meal and you want to take a little break from eating. What do you do with your chopsticks? I'll tell you what you don't do. You don't stick them upright in your rice bowl. But why? The rule is super simple. Never, ever do this. Instead, just rest them neatly across the top of your bowl or on a little chopstick rest if there is one. The reason behind this is actually fascinating. And here it is. It's because chopsticks sticking up out of rice look exactly like incense sticks that are burned at funerals as offerings to ancestors. So without meaning to, you're basically sending the message, thanks for the meal, may your ancestors rest in peace. Not exactly the vibe you're going for at a happy dinner party. Okay, next question. The food is on the table, it looks amazing, and everyone's gathering around. But wait, who sits down first and who gets to start eating? The rule here is absolute. Elders always take their seats first. Chinese culture really runs on this deep engine of respect for elders. So you hang back, you wait for the oldest person at the table or the host to sit down before you even think about it. So you're seated, conversation is flowing, and someone kindly pours some more tea into your cup. How do you say thanks without interrupting the person who's talking? You use this simple, really elegant gesture, the 2-finger tap. As they pour, you just gently tap your index and middle fingers on the table next to your cup. Legend has it that this action is meant to be a silent, miniature bow, a very respectful way to show your thanks. And one last rule for the dinner table, and it's a huge one. Don't point at people with your chopsticks. Seriously, think of them as extensions of your hands, not tiny wooden weapons. Pointing with them is seen as incredibly aggressive and rude, so just put them down and use your words. Okay, we've successfully navigated dinner. Let's move on to the next level of social interaction: gifts, guests, and compliments. So let's say you've been working on your Mandarin and someone comes up to you and says, "Wow, your Chinese is amazing." What's the right way to respond? Now, your instinct might be to just say, "Thank you." But in China, that can actually come across as a little arrogant. The culturally correct response is all about humility. You have to downplay it. You say something like, "Oh, no, it's terrible. I still have so much to learn," even if it's not true. Okay, new scenario. You're visiting a friend, and they hand you this beautifully wrapped present. The big question is, when do you open it? Do you tear into it right there? The answer is a hard no. The rule is you never open a gift in front of the person who gave it to you. It's considered impolite because it might make you look greedy. Or even worse, what if you don't like it? It's really tough to hide that look of disappointment. The polite move is to accept it, thank them sincerely, and open it later in private. So what about giving gifts? Well, this is your super important cheat sheet. Bringing fruit is always a safe bet. But bringing a clock? That's a huge mistake. The phrase for giving a clock in Mandarin sounds almost identical to the phrase for attending a funeral. Yikes. Same goes for an umbrella. The word for it sounds like to separate. So yeah, just stick with the fruit basket. Okay, so all of these rules we've been talking about, the modesty, the gift-giving etiquette, the respect for elders, they are all connected by one single, massive, overarching concept. Let's talk about the ultimate rule. Face. Face, or Mianzi, is basically the social operating system. It's this incredibly important but invisible social currency. It's a mix of reputation, pride, status, and respect. You can give it to someone, you can gain it for yourself, and you can most definitely lose it. Understanding face is the key to understanding everything. Here is a classic example, the fight for the dinner bill. When someone offers to pay, you absolutely must refuse and put up a polite fight to pay it yourself. They will insist, and they will almost always win the fight. So what just happened? They gain face for being so generous, and you gain respect for trying to be generous too. It's a social dance, and skipping it is a big mistake. All right, I know that was a lot to absorb, so let's wrap it all up with a final cheat sheet to keep all these ideas straight in your head. If you don't remember all the little details, just focus on these 4 big principles. Be humble. Always downplay your own accomplishments. Be polite. Show genuine respect for customs and for your elders. Be generous. Never show up to someone's home empty-handed. And maybe most important of all, save face for yourself and for others. Never, ever embarrass someone in public. And really, it all comes down to this one simple, memorable rule. And whatever you do, don't bring a clock to grandma's house. If you can remember that, you're honestly already halfway there. So there you have it, a little peek behind the curtain at China's unwritten social rules. They might seem complex at first, but they're all just part of a really fascinating social game. So the real question is, now that you know the rules, are you ready to play?